Hey guys, it's Nikolai here. I'm a teacher, I'm a marketer, and I'm a student at the University of Washington. I'm 16 years old, and I want to share with you guys the story of how I earned just about $2,000 in 3 months on Udemy. I'm going to show you proof right about here in this video. And before we go into more about that, I want to share with you the story. So I'm a sophomore at the University of Washington. Last year in spring quarter, March 2015, I decided I was going to take a quarter off to try to work on a startup with a friend who was also very passionate about online education. We worked on different ideas. We first focused on a kind of a niche SAT preparation class using the same strategies and techniques that got us into the University of Washington at such a young age. But we kind of gave up a little early on that and then went on, worked on different other ideas, and along the way gained very valuable marketing skills. Now in the first 4 months, this kind of enterprise was not that successful. In fact, me and my friend kind of split ways working on it, and since I had already taken the quarter off, I decided, might as well keep hammering away at it, and I learned a lot of valuable things about both marketing, coding, how to create websites, product testing, and just in general how to go about starting a business. So I took these skills that I learned and used them to create material for courses on Udemy. Now, nowhere along the process did I know and did I think, I'm going to work on whatever startups for a couple months, and whatever happens to it, I'll take it and create kind of an online course with it. In fact, at the end of the kind of period, I decided to work and intern as a marketer at another business startup called Portello around the Seattle area. I took what I learned there, and I took what I learned from the past 6 months of experience, and then created these courses. So in the whole 6 months that I took off from school, and 3 of them were summer, so that was already off anyways, the first 4 months I only earned $10. And you might say, wow, that's nothing. And that's right, it's nothing. Those $10 actually came from an old lady. I was practicing in-person sales, went up to her, pitched my product, and she was interested not in the product, but in helping out a young person trying to create a startup. And so she gave me $10. Didn't really look much into the product. I did send it to her, followed up on all those promises, and then I took those $10, and it was the first sale I'd ever made for a business. So I went to Starbucks, I celebrated buying a Frappuccino for $6, venti, and then I actually lost $5 of the dollars because it came in cash. So I ended the day in the red and was in the red for all of those 4 months. But once I became more focused after successive failures, I tried to think about what's the smallest executable idea that I could possibly imagine. I don't want to start with $1 million idea, I want to start with a $1,000 idea. And once I have that, and now that I do, I can focus on more complicated projects that are still education-oriented and related, that are in my interest zone. But now I want to share with you guys what I did first and how you can also do that. So you can earn $2,000 in 3 months like I did, and $8,000, $10,000 a year extra in passive income. And I want to talk about that for a little bit. That means that every month I'm earning around $700 or so in passive income where I don't have to work to earn that money. Being a college student, there's fellow students in college who have to work 70, 60 hours to get that same kind of money, and that's time that detracts from their studying, that detracts from other projects that they could be building. And so this kind of passive income stream is not just a business, but it's actually just really valuable to cover day-to-day expenses and free up more time which you can use to build other more successful, larger products. Now, I don't want to promise you $1 million, and this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is how to set up a passive income stream and get on your way to making more money online or working on startups or whatever kind of interest you have, just freeing up more time and making a little cash along the way. Now, you might have a few concerns and qualms coming into this, and the 2 biggest that I've seen are, first of all, I'm not a teacher. How am I going to relate with my students? Well, the way I approached that was the year before I started working on startups, I was already interested in education, so I became a tutor, both in-person private tutor and as well online. And as I kind of started to shift things online, I recognized how efficient online teaching could be. Now at the point where I have 5,000 plus students learning from and taking my courses, I kind of see, online teaching has scalability to. Now, going back to the topic, you don't really strictly need to be a teacher to teach topics that you learn. So you can learn some of those teaching skills along the way, and in the more kind of in-depth, full product that I'm going to give you guys VIP pre-sale access to coming up, I'm going to explain in-depth, some simple teaching strategies that I learned along the way from my year experience as a tutor. Now, the second kind of qualm or concern people have is, what am I going to teach? I was talking with my sister about this. She was, impressed with the results and what I was doing, but she was like, I don't have those kind of technical skills like you, Nikolai, to teach. And I tried to explain to her, well, you don't really need to come with those technical skills. None of these skills are really like original or, first-time things. We all have learned them from someone else, and then we take those skills and then we share them with others. Udemy, online teaching, is just a platform to do so in a large scale. And since there's so many people learning, so many people teaching, it's a good opportunity also to bring value back to yourself and earn from sharing your experience with others. The person who can best explain it and best share it with others, and also the person who can also market that kind of product that you've created most effectively, is the one who's going to capture the most students and earn the most money. So we're going to focus on those things in that VIP pre-sale access course coming up. So with those concerns, you can learn along the way. Now, I want to share with you some specific techniques that you can use to create your first Udemy course. And if you're interested, I want to invite you to join a kind of VIP pre-sale club where we're going to go over live coaching calls once or twice a month. It's not really finalized yet. And then there's also just going to be in-depth kind of guides to really how you can just start, the kind of teaching skills you're going to need, tips on technical things, so how you can get better audio, how you can get better video quality. This is just a rough kind of, video to talk to you guys here, so this isn't really the kind of video quality that I would have in my courses. I would use a professional mic, better video cam setup, or just use screencasting software that I'll talk about. There's a lot of quality standards that you have to pass. We'll talk about that. And we'll also talk most importantly about marketing. What kind of strategies worked for me marketing my courses, and what kind of strategies did not work for me, and how you can both effectively use your time so that you're not really wasting time, because the point of this kind of passive income is to give you more time to do the things that you want to do. As well, we're going to talk to you about different failure points and really just walk you along the way about how to create your Udemy course. So now, I want to touch briefly on the limits of the Udemy system. Now, whether you're familiar or not with Udemy, it has about 5 million or so students actively learning and purchasing courses from the website right now. And it's kind of got a reputation as a discounting platform. And what that means is, say you price your course at $300, which is a very common price point, actually the max price you can charge for a course under, I think, 30 hours or something of that sort. So, so if you price your course at $300, most of the sales are actually going to come at $10 sales. So it's kind of that idea of perceived value, that they're getting a $300 course for a $10 sale, and these sales happen all the time. Udemy sets them up and does them for you. What that means is that you have to be aware that a lot of students who are familiar with Udemy are only going to purchase your courses if you opt into these different marketing, promotions, and features. So first things first, be aware that Udemy positions itself in the market to get the most market share as this kind of heavy and frequent discounter of these online courses. Second thing I want to talk about with you guys is inbound marketing. That means if you want to get the most results and get kind of these results that I'm getting right away, you're going to want to, as you learn the concepts that you want to teach, or if you already have learned them, as you structure the course, go about outlining it, all these kind of techniques I'm going to teach you once you get access to the whole VIP pre-sale, you're going to want to be building your list along the way. Because Udemy, and another limit of the system, is that they're very strict and want to control the traffic that they're getting. Because as I kind of teach in my marketing courses, traffic is king. Whoever has traffic gets money. So as you're going along the way, set up a simple blog through either WordPress or Weebly, all these other kind of simple blogging software, and start posting content. If you're going to teach coding, post some sample exercises, maybe a sample app that you want to build, share that content through social media to friends, and also create like a Facebook page, a Twitter page, and perhaps an Instagram to start getting a social media following as you're going along and creating this course. This should only take about 5 to 10 minutes a day. Post 200, 300 words. Try to go for every day an article if you can, but if you can't, that's understandable as well. Now, you're not going to get a huge following from this, but you are going to get some initial adopters, and you're also going to get some reliability because when you become an instructor on Udemy, you can say, well, I've already been teaching on these blogs to begin with, and you can link your students to that. So that's very important to get started, building your own list. And once you get readers on your blog, try to capture their emails. We'll go through some more techniques. If any of you have specific questions about how to do this in the VIP calls that you're going to get access to once you click the button. And finally, I want to touch on the kind of topics that do and don't make money on Udemy. So before you go about creating your first course, you really want to do some competitive research that any kind of company or startup will do. Now, that means you want to go on Udemy and pretend you're a student looking for the course that you want to teach. Let's say it's cybersecurity or some kind of new programming software. So look that up, type that in, pretend you're a student trying to get a course on that. How many courses are there out there? Are they outdated? What kind of topics are they going through? Look at the outlines, look what they're teaching, and see, could you structure your course in a way that will come out unique? Be honest with yourself. Would you actually purchase this course if you're a student, the one that you're thinking of, even though there's already like these competitive offerings out there? Now, unless you have a very unique idea, and to give an example of a unique idea, there's recently a course that was very successful on Udemy on puppy training. Unless you have kind of like a unique idea like that, then you're going to want to really think hard about positioning and how you can be either the most comprehensive offering, the most specific offering, or just something that's unique, that's going to stand out, and that's going to offer value to your target students. If you have this blog set up that we're talking about, that first step where you're going to be posting content to it, you can ask your readers, who are going to be your target audience, what kind of things would you want to learn next? What really interests you? And you can keep these concerns in mind when you're structuring and creating your first course. These are 3 key pillars to creating your Udemy course and making sure that it's going to be successful. I do not want you guys to go through all that effort and have a failed launch. So if you want to really ensure the success of your launch, now just click the links that I put or whatever annotations. Get access to that VIP presale. I'm going to tell you the secrets, the strategies and techniques in depth at a very competitive price about how you can also create this success. Now, I'm not sure what the price is going to be exactly, something around $20 perhaps for the pre-sale access to all these calls and the guide about how you can create success on Udemy. This price is not going to stay for long because this is just a pre-sale price, kind of testing out, are my students interested in learning what I've done and how I've done it. So get access to that right away. We're going to start charging per call or per month, and you're going to get, access to the initial setup. Click the buttons, learn more, and I hope you've learned a lot of valuable content from this video about how you can free up some more time, earn some extra capital, and since I, a 16-year-old, can do it, how you can do it as well.